Individuals of Wakanda battle to safeguard their home from mediating world powers as they grieve the passing of Lord T'Challa. Sovereign Ramonda, Shuri, M'Baku, Okoye and the Dora Milaje battle to safeguard the realm of Wakanda from mediating world powers directly following ruler T'Challa's demise. As the Wakandans endeavor to embrace their next part, the legends should unite as one with the assistance of war canine Nakia and Everett Ross and fashion another way for their country. At the beginning of ruler T'Challa's demise, attacking powers from around the world objective Wakanda's vibranium, releasing disarray, and it will be the obligation of Shuri, M'Baku, Nakia and Okoye to guard the country, particularly when a strange Mexican human progress rises out of the profundities of the ocean. In 1571, the Yucatan public became sick to the plague. One man tracked down a plant and alongside others, drank it. The substance turned individuals blue and made them unequipped for taking in air. They immediately moved to the sea and made a progress in the profound water, Talokan. One of the ones who ingested the plant had a child named Kukulkan. The child grew up to become leader of Tal. The child grew up to become leader of Talokan. At the point when Fen passed on, she requested to be covered on the land. Kukulkan drove a few gatekeepers up to the land where he saw a human progress. They went after the civilization to account for his mom's internment. One of the locals referred to him as Namor, signifying the kid without affection. Shuri works in her lab, making a good attempt to make a fake heart-molded spice to use for her sibling and Wakanda's top dog, T'Challa, who is passing on from a disease. Ramonda gradually strolls into the lab, declaring the Lord's passing. After a year, Wakanda is experiencing difficulty with different countries needing their vibranium. The Dora Milaje find French military men attempting to take from their station. Afterward, Ramonda converses with the assembled countries and uncovers the French's endeavor to take. She reminds the nations that despite the fact that the Dark Puma is gone, they will in any case battle. At a mining station, Americans mine in the sea utilizing a vibranium finder that was made by MIT understudy, Riri Williams. They utilize this to find vibranium in the sea. Abruptly they go under assault by Talakanals who don't need them taking their vibranium. The final helicopter of survivors is struck somewhere near Namor. In Wakanda, Ramonda and Shuri go to the water and grieve the year since T'Challa's passing. They consume their burial service pieces of clothing to mean the finish of the grieving time frame, regardless of Shuri not being totally prepared for this. Namor then, at that point, shows up, traversing the line by going under the water. He uncovers to them the presence of Talokan and believes that their assistance should prevent outsiders from taking vibranium. He likewise makes sense of that Wakanda isn't the main spot that has vibranium, Talokan has it as well. Ramonda reprimands him, stressed of his presence. He lets them know he will kill the researcher who created the machine and T. Shuri and Okoye go to meet Everett Ross, who gives them the name and area of the youthful researcher, regardless of perhaps offering private data. Okoye and Shuri then, at that point, go to Cambridge, Massachusetts to track down Williams. They follow her to her carport where she uncovers that she is dealing with an Iron Man-type reinforcement. Nonetheless, they are trailed by the FBI. The three move away, Okoye in a vehicle, Shuri in a cruiser, and Williams in her protective layer. Unexpectedly, they are met by Talakanals, Atuma and Namora. A concise encounter closes in Shuri and Williams getting caught. Ross shows up at the scene the following day and meets with his ex, Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. He additionally tracks down Kimoyo dots and conceals them. In Wakanda, Ramonda denounces Okoye for losing Shuri and fires her from her situation as Broad. Shuri and Williams awaken in Talokan. Namor shows Shuri the progress, attempting to persuade her regarding his beliefs, in any event, giving her his mom's armband. Be that as it may, she differs in killing Williams. In the interim, Ramonda goes to Haiti to see Nakia, who had left Wakanda 6 years earlier. She requests that Nakia track down Shuri for her. Nakia does a few spying and sorts out the area. She then breaks Williams and Shuri out as Ramonda converses with Namor about his arrangement. They return to Wakanda, yet just for additional torture as Namor and his kin attack. They flood the city causing a hard and fast conflict. Namor deals with all of the Wakandan vehicles prior to flooding the royal chamber holding Ramonda and Williams. Williams begins suffocating, so Ramonda swims to save her. She can get Williams to somewhere safe, yet just to suffocate all the while. Shuri grieves her mom's passing as Namor tells her she is sovereign at this point. He and his kin then, at that point, leave the country. In the meantime, Allegra de Fontaine figures out that Ross has been speaking with Wakanda this entire time. M'Baku converses with Shuri after the burial service and gives her ethical judgment that she shouldn't kill Namor. He then, at that point, tells her he will give lodging to the uprooted Wakandans following the assault. Shuri then utilizes Namor's mom's armband to make the fake heart-formed spice which at last works. She goes to the astral plane in the wake of taking it and is welcomed by Eric Killmonger, who claims they are something very similar. They contend a peace before Shuri claims she will kill Namor out of vengeance. Shuri awakens and makes herself a suit. She then, at that point, drops into a gathering among M'Baku and the older folks as the Dark Jaguar. In arrangement of the fight, Shuri and Williams understand that they could debilitate Namor by warming his body up to where it can't get oxygen. They then, at that point, make a second Iron Heart protection. Shuri gives Okoye new protective layer, acting similar as Iron Man's also, called the 12 p.m. Heavenly Messengers. Okoye initiates Annika to be separated of her two-lady group. In the sea, they utilize a vessel to draw the Talaconals into a snare. The fight initiates as Namor appears to acquire the upper hand. In any case, Dark Jaguar traps him in an Imperial Claw contender as they remove off from the fight. In the interim, the Dora Milaje battle the Talaconals on the vessel while the Jabari clan, Nakia, and the others fight the ones on top. Ironheart and the 12 p.m. Holy Messengers deal with the airborne Talaconals. Dark Puma warms up the illustrious Claw Warrior, debilitating Namor, yet he starts to break out with his lance. Dark Jaguar shoots an impact from her vibranium gloves which detonates the entire boat, sending the two foes into the island underneath. The two battle some more until Namor spears Shuri. Nonetheless, rather than polishing her off, he is more stressed over getting to the water before he bites the dust. A harmed Dark Puma breaks free and gets before the limping Namor. She then hollers. Shuri and Okoye go to meet Everett Ross, who gives them the name and area of the youthful researcher, regardless of perhaps offering private data. Okoye and Shuri then, at that point, go to Cambridge, Massachusetts to track down Williams. They follow her to her carport where she uncovers that she is dealing with an Iron Man-type reinforcement. Nonetheless, they are trailed by the FBI. The three move away, Okoye in a vehicle, Shuri in a cruiser, and Williams in her protective layer. Unexpectedly, they are met by Talaconals, Atuma and Namora. A concise encounter closes in Shuri and Williams getting caught. Ross shows up at the scene the following day and meets with his ex, Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.